Hello, everyone. Hi there. I'm David Dixon, and I serve as Terra State Student Government President. And welcome to the 2018 State of the College. Thank you to all the trustees, administrators, faculty, staff, and community members who were able to attend today. At this time, I would like to introduce Kylie Lash, a current Terra State student in the Hospitality Management Program, who will be performing our national anthem. Please rise.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Kylie. And with that, it is my pleasure. To now introduce the president of Terra State Community College, Dr. Jerome Webster.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Wow, I am so proud of Kylie. Let's give her another round of applause. For our guests and on behalf of the Board of Trustees, the Foundation Board, and our faculty and staff, and especially on behalf of our students, it is my pleasure to welcome you to this State of the College and back to Terra State. Before we begin, I would like to ask all of us to take a moment and pause and reflect and remember the victims of the Parkland school shooting yesterday. Thank you. My colleagues and I are excited to be with you today to present to you the State of the College. In the past, the State of the College had become a regular component of what we had for fall and spring convocations, which was an all-day faculty and staff professional development event. As we have decided to restructure how we provide information and professional development outside of the convocation format, I wanted the campus as well as the community to have an opportunity to still hear of the State of the College and what is happening on an annual basis. So today we begin to present the state of the college and plan to do so annually every February to give you all an update on what is happening. Before we go any further, though, I'd like to take a moment and recognize some individuals who've joined us today. All of our county commissioners from Sandusky County have been able to join us today. So Kay Ryder, who is also the chair of the board. Kay, could you stand to be recognized? Charlie Schwolko, who is a county commissioner, and Scott Miller, who is a county commissioner. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you so much. We also have Tom Kern, who is the chairman of the foundation board, who is here. Tom, could you please stand to be recognized? We also have Christy Bilger, who's the executive director of Downtown Fremont, who Terra State is partnering with. Christy, thank you. Could you stand to be recognized? We appreciate your time. And as we begin, we always start by recognizing our board of trustees. And the board just does a phenomenal job of serving the college and governing the institution and guiding us along in how the institution should continue to progress. Kay Ryder serves as our board chair this year. Our vice chair is Kelly Cart-Sears, and our sergeant at arms is John Hody. Insurance agent and owner Matt Montowski is a trustee. Vice president of Balrix, Linda Reese, is a trustee. President and CEO of Academy Games here in Fremont, Uwe Eichert, is a trustee. Senior Director of Operations for Whirlpool, Roberto Miller, is a trustee. And CEO of Crescent Manufacturing, Mike Walrazak, is a trustee. For those trustees who are here, could you please stand so we could recognize you? As is tradition, we always start by welcoming our new employees. We are going to continue this tradition, and we welcome those who joined us since the last convocation this year, and will be on an annual basis from that point out. So first, if you are here, feel free to stand and be recognized when I call your name. Some of you are not here. Well, some of them are not here. And so we know that, but we'll try to keep this going so that you get to meet these individuals eventually. First, we have Mr. Tom Adamich, who was hired as the librarian and manager of library services. Tom began his position November 15th of last year. Arlene Angel was hired as an accounts payable specialist, and she began her position today. Welcome, Arlene. Bethany Bauer was hired as the grant writer and began her position in October. Bethany, welcome. Longtime adjunct faculty member Connie Davis began January 10th in a faculty lectureship position. Connie, there she is. Lexi Fodor was hired as the junior graphic designer and began her position on December 19th. Is Lexi here? No, okay. Mr. David Garcia has been offered and accepted a part-time campus safety officer position for the weekends, and he started his position February 10th. Melanie Kempton was hired as a college access advisor and began her position November 28th. Dusty Miner was hired as the assistant banquet captain and began her position February 12th. Is Dusty? There she is. Mara Overmeyer was hired as the coordinator of catering services and began her position February 12th also. She's probably in the kitchen. Pete Pelko was hired as an account executive for workforce development and began his position October 16th. Welcome, Pete. Dr. Melissa Patrizzi was hired as the physical therapist assistant program chair and director of clinical education and began her position January 16th. I don't know if Dr. Patrizzi's here. She's probably teaching. Catherine Ryder has been offered and accepted the full-time interim landscape technician position. She will start her position on February 19th. Emily Reilly was hired as the interim manager of conference and event services and began her position February 12th. Emily, I know, is here. I saw her. There she is. Dr. Ron Schumacher was hired as senior vice president and began his position January 1st. Ms. Teresa Sutter was hired as the assistant professor for the physical therapist assistant program and began her position January 11th. I didn't see her come in. Melissa Thomas was hired as a campus safety officer and began her position December 18th. And Justin Weigel was hired as the director of admissions and began his position October 16th. Angela Wood was hired as a nursing instructor and began her position January 16th. Oh, there she is. Hi, Angela. Along with that, there have been a number of transfers and promotions that you can see on the screen, and we congratulate all of these individuals on their new roles. So we've had a lot of shifts that have occurred. So I'd like to share with you a little bit about information of the year in review for 2017. You will see on this slide that Terra State graduated 266 students in 2017. This is the second highest number of graduates that commenced from the college since 2007. We also awarded 194 certificates, which reflects the highest number awarded in 10 years. We have worked very diligently over the last couple of years to embed certificates into our degree programs, and the work is paying off by providing industry-recognized certificate credentials. We've achieved a course success rate of 91% last year and introduced the Workforce Demand Scholarship, which you will hear more about in a moment. You will also hear more about our designation in cybersecurity. We were excited to break ground for our new residence hall in conjunction with Terra Village Holdings, which will open at the beginning of the 2018 fall semester. Fremont Early College began last fall. We partnered with the Cincinnati College of Mortuary Science to offer an online associate degree with a pre-mortuary science pathway and are the preferred provider for 2-year education with CCMS. We announced our partnership with Heidelberg University to offer a 1+2+1 Bachelor of Science in Nursing program, where the student will begin at Heidelberg in year 1, transfer to Terra State for years 2 and 3 to earn their associate degree in nursing, and then complete their year 4 at Heidelberg with a BSN upon completion. The Fostoria Learning Center opened in July, and Terra State offered classes with them in medical assisting and mechanical engineering technologies. We are one of the main partners with the Fostoria Learning Center. And we announced our return to intercollegiate athletics to begin in the 2019 fall semester, and more will be shared about that in just a moment. Terra State takes seriously its role in serving as a pillar in the community. As an educational institution, we believe we have a significant role to play in nurturing the community to become all that it can be. As education is often seen as the key to economic success, we see our role to be vital to the future of Sandusky, Seneca, and Ottawa counties and the region, along with the surrounding areas. We also recognize the important role that we should fulfill in partnering with other community components, other educational institutions, the cities we serve, and the local business and industry that we support. More critical is the role that we fulfill as a leader in the state of Ohio. Our Workforce Demand Scholarship offering for the 2018 fall semester to high school graduates is becoming a model upon which other institutions build tuition-free offerings for key workforce demand areas. Our efforts to construct a residence hall are being watched with anticipation by several of our community college peers in the state. Our leadership by faculty on statewide panels regarding curricula is being recognized as stellar, and our employees are being sought after for their leadership abilities in curriculum development. And our site visits, audits, accreditation reviews, and practices in preparation for these institutional checkpoints are being recognized for their stellar results. Other institutions are seeking Terra State out to understand how to best prepare for their own institutional checkpoints. This is all occurring because of the dedication and commitment of our faculty and staff. I commend you for all of your work and ask you to renew your commitment as we continue to move forward with our dynamic transformation in 2018. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Jennifer Spielvogel, Vice President for Academic Affairs, who will share information on the academic initiatives that took place last year. Let's give her a round of applause.
Hi, everybody. It's my opportunity to talk about the state of academics in 2017 at Terra State. You know, recently we started the year by reducing the number of academic programs that we had. Research will tell you that too many options for students is too many options. And we at one time had 66 academic programs. We were able to bring those down to 37 programs recently, kind of by putting pathways in many of our degree programs. So this year we went from 37 and down to 29 programs. Why did we do that? we want to allocate our resources to the programs that have strong enrollments, are in demand, and can be programs that really we want to focus on. We went through a process. We read comments from the faculty and staff in several open sessions to determine what ought to be our strength, what are we known for. We then used several weighted criteria related to demand, which was enrollments and regional job demand, finances, what were the costs of the program, what kind of revenue did they generate, and the quality of our programs, the graduates, uniqueness, what was it about those programs. The rubric was reviewed by faculty and a team of administrators, and at that time we did eliminate 8 programs. The recommendations are here. 2 of the programs, architectural construction and management industrial supervision, really had very low enrollments. The nuclear power technology program, we did not have the appropriate accreditation for us to award those degrees so that students could work in the field. The other programs, you'll notice, IT help desk, financial services, etc., have all been embedded into other degree programs that we have. So it really isn't a loss of programs. If students want to focus in these areas, they still can. Accreditation is critical to us at the college, and I'm not going to read all these acronyms to you, but, excuse me, the top one, Higher Learning Commission, is our accreditation for the entire institution. The rest of these are accrediting bodies for our allied health programs, and all of our allied health programs do have their accreditation: nursing, medical assisting, physical therapy assistant, and health information management. That now leads us to do something called distinctive programs. So we know what our 29 programs are. How are we going to identify which ones we will focus on? We'll get some marketing on those programs and be distinctive in some way for Tara State. 6 degree programs have already gone through a compression planning session to identify what those distinctions might be. Business management, and thank you to the faculty who have participated in these sessions. Business technologies, which is the new name for our office administration program. Computer information technology, health information technology, music technology, and nursing. The compression planning is a way of bringing together faculty, students, staff, business leaders in these areas to help us identify what does that program need to be right now at Tara State. You know, we have our cybersecurity designation. We've been talking about this since 2017. What does it mean? We now can teach cybersecurity in our courses. We've been recognized by the Department of Defense and Homeland Security to have this designation. And I know not just in our IT courses, but I know Jill Caton has used some of this in her HIT courses, and many of the rest of you are working with Haley to try and identify a component of that degree program where there may be cybersecurity issues or cyber risk. One of the areas that we are going to focus cybersecurity on is in the industrial areas. So things like trucking and utilities and manufacturing processes and healthcare, PLCs and CNC, robotics, electrical systems. That will be an area that those are programs we have, and when we can put that cyber risk focus in those programs. But we've also partnered with Tiffin University and Heidelberg University. Certainly you know about the water safety and research that Heidelberg does and the cybersecurity area that Tiffin University has. We've put those 2 institutions and their specialties together with ourselves and have applied for something we're referring to as OPWICS, the Ohio Partnership for Water, Industrial, and Cybersecurity. This is a grant request so that our 3 institutions in Northwestern Ohio can be a statewide resource for cyber issues related to our natural resources and information resources. Dr. Webster mentioned that Tom Adamich was recently hired. He has now branded the Library Zone. If you haven't been up there lately, I think you'll find that it looks very different than it did about 6 months ago. He's doing a weeding process, which all of you know means let's get rid of the things we're not using. I've learned the term circ data. Circulation data showed us which books and music was not being used and checked out of the library. So he used that to guide his weeding process. Anything that he weeded out, he did find an online accessible resource, so you can still have what you did have in the library. You'll notice new student space up there. Our allied health programs, I think, have gone to the clinic, where we've put the muscular and skeletal tools for the students to work with in a separate space outside of the library, back in their own clinic. And you'll notice soon a Fab Lab and a CyberPod, where we have a 3D printer, and we will focus some of our cybersecurity issues. Dr. Webster also asked me to mention the AQUIP systems portfolio. AQUIP is an 8-year cycle. Right now we are in year 3. This is a process that we go through for our reaccreditation through the Higher Learning Commission. You'll notice next year we may have a visit from the Higher Learning Commission, but it's not a necessity. The next 4 years look just like the first 4 years, but in year 8 we will have an accreditation visit. In year 7, you'll notice that we need to submit another systems portfolio. So I'm just warning folks who may be preparing to write that in 21-22, this is your notice. There are several criteria that we have to meet to be accredited by the Higher Learning Commission. So we answer a series of questions about our students, our processes, our employees, our assessment, our programs, to show the Higher Learning Commission that we do meet the criteria related to mission, integrity, that we have the resources for our teaching and learning enterprise, that we evaluate and improve our teaching and learning, and that we have the resources we need for our institution. I'm happy now to present Dean Corey Stein about another academic opportunity for Tara State.
Thank you, Dr. Spielvogel. The Power Communication Contractors Association has approached us with a rather unique opportunity that we're going to be piloting here in 2018. They have a unique approach to shoring up the talent pipeline needs of this industry. They predict that by 2030, they're going to have over half of their member employees who will have reached retirement age, and there'll be about 150,000 openings in that time. They've reached out to 2 other community colleges, one in the state of Missouri and one in the state of Wisconsin, and we're number 3. And we were specifically approached due to the reputation with a local employer and contractor who, in effect, boxed out other community colleges in a 3-state region so that Tara State would get an opportunity to do this. So what we're going to do is focus on the utility infrastructure industry and the workers that are required to do this. Our particular piece has mostly the component of existing classes here at Tara State, but we will supplement some of those with some new classes in partnership with PCCA. It'll focus on above-ground utility wires and then underground directional boring and other installation of utility purposes. So we're looking forward to that. We've proposed to PCCA that we need some help starting this, as we don't currently have a department that deals with utility installation. So we have requested for support with things like qualified folks to help teach a couple of those classes, the major equipment that might be necessary to deliver it, as well as some startup funds to get this off the ground. So we're excited for this to happen, so look forward to that in 2018. Thank you. At this point, I'd like to introduce Senior Vice President, Dr. Ron Schumacher.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, let me get a couple thank yous out of the way. Number one, thanks to Dr. Webster and the entire executive team for making me feel so welcome over the last month. It's been really great to become a part of this team. Second set of thank yous to the foundation members that are here. Thanks for making me feel so welcomed as a part of the foundation, the board, and the executive committee of the board. To Lonnie Shuey and Beth Bauer, hopefully you guys saw the article in News and Notes today that marketing put out about the scholarship that we had an anonymous donor come in and reassign to support student emergency funds. And to Beth and Liz for working on that. We got that done in a matter of, I think it was 37 minutes. It had to be a record. They discussed it. Beth came into me. The donor somehow got a hold of me, and lo and behold, it got pulled together rather quickly. So Beth and Lonnie, our office wouldn't run without the two of them. And I know Lonnie can't be here. He's in the office running the office. So our foundation exists to support students, faculty, and staff. And I'm proud to be the leader of that foundation, along with our board. And one of the most exciting things about the foundation is that we have just sent over $100,000 in scholarships and $160,000 in support dollars in the request for equipment. So to the foundation, the board members that are here, thanks for that. And to everyone who donates to the foundation, thanks for your support. Because without you, we wouldn't be able to do the things that we do as a part of the foundation. So members of the foundation board that are here today, Tom Kern, our chairman of the board, Jeff George, our secretary, and maybe have a new title after the next meeting, and our newest board member, Charlie Eberhardt, a trustee. Thank you guys for attending today. Really appreciate it. We continue to look to grow and transform this board into a board whose focus is on exactly what I said, students, faculty, and staff support in whatever way we can. And thanks to everyone in attendance. Our endowment performance over the last 2 years, we have that nice line going up, so it's really nice to see. In 2016, we had $5.3 million in the endowment, and I'm happy to say in 2017, we're up over $5.8 million. Very excited about our performance, very excited about our direction in terms of the dollars that are in the foundation, that they continue to grow. We do have a goal set. I just won't share it with you today because it is an aggressive goal in terms of finding donors who are going to support this growth. And as we go out and do that, you guys will be the first to hear about it, and you may be the first ones to help donate to get that line going up as well. New scholarships, wrong way. New scholarships that we have. I don't want to read this to you, but we have 5 new scholarships. Obviously, the big one here is the Workforce Demand Scholarship. We are going out and working with local businesses in the community and outside the community to really spearhead and get these dollars in so that we can support those students who want to go into those trades. I already talked about the newest Elena Mercy Student Emergency Fund earlier. So probably the real reason you guys are all here is why are we starting athletics, or rebooting athletics, as I like to say. So we're putting together, first and foremost, we're putting together an advisory group. The group will be members of the community, members of other athletic departments who have run athletic programs in the past, who will be a part of assisting us with timelines, assisting us with local partnerships for where we're going to play our games when we're putting together practice fields and whatnot. Once we have our first coach hired, we'll then bring on the advisory board, athletic advisory council, that will be a part of the governing body at Terra State. So you ask the question, why are we doing athletics? This slide may help explain that. There are 1,108 community colleges in the United States. Over 530 of them field intercollegiate athletic teams. Most of them belong to the National Junior College Athletic Association, the NJCAA. So in the NJCAA, I compare it to, and most of you are familiar with the NCAA. They have 3 divisions. Division I gives out the most scholarships. They're some of the largest institutions out there. Division II still gives scholarships, a little less, and Division III, no scholarships. So we're looking at being a part of NJCAA Division II. We're looking to compete in Region 12, and right now there are 33 institutions from Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio in Region 12. Did it the right way. So in a couple months, we'll formally request to go into the NJCAA CAA, we'll also formally request to become a part of the Ohio Community College Athletic Conference. In this conference, there's 11 schools from Ohio, many of which you're familiar with already, one from Pennsylvania. And again, in a couple months, when we do our formal request to the NJCAA, we'll also do a formal request to the OCCAC. Our plan, we're going to implement 5 sports, women's volleyball, basketball, men's basketball, women's soccer, and men's soccer. These are the first 5 sports that we're looking to bring on. Our coaches will get hired July, August of 2018. They will begin recruiting immediately. At that point in time, we'll work with the coaches and our advisory council that's a part of the college's governing body to determine extent, cost, timing, and every other piece that goes into taking the Student Activity Center offline to do those renovations. And obviously, I said the coaches will begin recruiting student athletes. We'll be securing locations for them and through the partnerships from the local community. So the last thing, our athletic programs, every student and coach will sign an agreement that highlights these 5 things that will be the pillars of our athletic programs. Integrity, consistency of character. People will see our actions, words, methods, and outcomes. Academic success. Our students will be a part of athletic study tables. They will go to study tables until they achieve a certain GPA so that we never have to worry about athletic eligibility on this campus. Competitive success. Our student athletes will be provided through our coaches a competitive edge that they'll be able to carry on through their life in whatever job they do. All students will be a contributor to society. All students and our coaches will have a component of community service as a part of their agreement to participate in athletics. And finally, fiscal responsibility. Our coaches and players will have a fiscal responsibility to Terra State Community College and be responsible fiscal agents for the college. It's now my pleasure to introduce our Assistant Vice President for Administrative Affairs, Nancy Kosenka.
Okay, well, I'm going to start my presentation with a short video that explains the prominent role that IT is taking in higher education.
For over 30 years, technology and higher education have gone hand in hand. Universities and other institutions of higher learning have been aggressive adopters of new technology, leveraging the educational opportunities that computers, specialized software, and other IT equipment can enable. As a result, the classrooms of tomorrow will utilize mobility, cloud, and big data technology to accelerate student outcomes. Advances in cloud technology will allow communication and class participation on a global scale. Imagine a teacher in Beijing being able to lecture and interact with a classroom halfway around the world. Thanks to sophisticated learning management systems, students will be able to access that lecture remotely, along with all of their other important course materials anywhere, anytime, and from virtually any device. Universities today are just beginning to rely on predictive analytics to increase retention and provide a more personalized learning experience. In the near future, teachers will also rely on personal data with predictive modeling to monitor each student's engagement in the classroom. As we see the proliferation of devices across campuses, we will also see the need for innovative security measures. These systems will protect sensitive information while allowing unrestricted communication and transfer of data. These are just a few examples of how the technology of today is helping us transform the world of tomorrow.
So some pretty cool IT things coming our way. But where is Terra currently regarding innovation? This picture is from 1984. Terra State at that time was on the cutting edge of technology. Employees actually were able to email each other from their desktops, and that was just in 1984. Now today, we all know we don't even need to be at our desktops to email. Actually, some of you may be emailing right now. So the video and our reliance upon emails are just a few examples that show just how dependent we have become on technology and how important having a robust IT infrastructure is for everyday operation. Today, IT infrastructure, it's critical for the operation of a college. The college offers online degrees. We depend on Banner, Starfish, Radius by Hobson's, Accolog, Ad Astra, EMS, School Dude, Mojo, or Booklog, just to name a few. And we can see we have the Terra Video Club, who's actually live streaming today's presentation. Technology allows us to be efficient, but most importantly, it allows us to provide a more robust experience for our students. So having a robust IT infrastructure, it's no longer just an add-on, it's a prominent need. With the help from our partners from the University of Toledo, the college has completed initiatives that include new wiring and switch upgrades, new virtual server environment, and we increased our bandwidth to more than double our previous. We installed new wireless routers and switches, updated our point of sale contact system, and reduced the number of computer labs from 26 labs to 20 labs. We have seen an investment in IT infrastructure that totals $9 million in improvement since 2014. But because of our partnership with UT, the college has saved over $4 million. So I just want to say a shout out and some thank yous. Thank you to Wayne Yearden, Tim Kincaid, Cody Burke, Joshua Branco, and Dustin Page. Thank you for your hard work. Let's give them a round of applause. And additionally, these updates have helped us reduce our costs because of lack of need of maintenance. So we have all that excitement, but what's next? This year, the trustees approved for the college to go out for financing to help with information technology upgrades. These upgrades will help with network upgrades, network data closet reorganizations, and upgrades to desktops and laptops. We will also see an increase in bandwidth and replication storage to ensure UT and Terra State internet redundancy. But guess what? There's still more to come. The Academic Technology Committee, they are working on standardizing the faculty workstations. Thank you. They're also working on drafting policies that will help transform our campus to a bring your own device campus, better known as BYOD. We are making great strides when it comes to IT infrastructure, but as the video showed, IT is truly a prominent need in higher education, and it's no longer just an add-on. Therefore, we must continue to improve. We also have some cool things going on with our website. We're in the process of rebuilding our website. So thank you to our marketing team, Amanda Pacheco, Mike Metzger, Pat McCauley, Amy Reeves, and Lexi Fodder for their work. Let's give them a round of applause. So how will the new website be able to enhance users' experience? The website will be user-friendly. Updating information by departments will be easier, It will have a simplified contact management system. The layout and design will provide better information and better customer service. This site will be ADA compliant, and it will be responsive, which means it'll be mobile friendly. How nice. But now my time's ended and I get to introduce Steve Hillard. Steve is our Executive Director of Workforce Development and Corporate Partnerships. Steve.
Good afternoon. Thank you for your attendance. One of the things we want to talk about is the Kern Center staff. There's only 4 of us, but we have over 100 years of experience. When I showed this to one of my staff members, they said, "I hope we don't become the old fogies department at the college." So I'm careful of how we use it. But the importance of that is we bring a lot of experience and knowledge when we're out working with workforce companies. And I think that's going to help the college grow in the region as far as workforce development is concerned. The other thing is we're expanding some of our many options. We're taking a look at IT and healthcare, business as well as manufacturing. It's important to remember when people think about workforce development and corporate partnerships, they think about manufacturing. We're not just manufacturing. We're all these areas plus some. And so it's important for individuals to understand we have a very broad spectrum of what we can do as far as workforce development is concerned. We've had a very successful apprentice program. Spring semester, we had 152 apprentice register here in the college. Of those, we had 172 continuing, 22 brand new apprentice, 20 were readmits, and 3 were transfers from other colleges. So, you know, it has become very successful. We're expanding the opportunities as far as apprenticeships are concerned, and we're looking into going into new fields. Dr. Anway and myself were out and talked to a hospital facility here a few months back and talked to them about an apprenticeship for their maintenance people. So there's a lot of opportunities for growth and diversity in that particular area. We now have an apprenticeship advisory committee meeting on a quarterly basis, and I think the last Lynn told me there would be 30 companies that would be participating with that. So it's helping us as far as understand what the company's needs are as far as apprenticeship training and programs. We became in December of this past year on the 31st ISO 9001 2015 compliant. We are moving towards ISO certification by July of this year. For those of you who don't understand it, ISO is a quality program. It's recognized worldwide. It's recognized as a program that you have a quality system that consistently provides product and services to meet the customer's requirements as well as our internal requirements. Documentation is at the forefront, and it allows us to be very much in sync with each other. Everyone knows what documents to use. Everyone knows which forms to use. Everyone knows what the policies and procedures are. And we have to constantly be on track because we have internal auditing as well as external auditing that will keep this program in sync. And to keep the compliance and certification, we have to make sure these things are in order. The other area that I'd like to talk about just very briefly is our synchronous services with other academic programs. Dr. Stein's industrial technology and our workforce programs working together with personnel, with equipment, with laboratories, and it's been a very successful partnership. Company focus needs, what we've heard so far is PLC training, CNC training, robotics training, and we're moving to manufacturing 4.0. For those of you who don't know what 4.0 is, give us 6 months and we'll show you. Come back and hear what it's all about. We're sharing workforce resources with other colleges. We're using their personnel and equipment, and they're using our equipment and personnel as well. We're sharing joint BR&E visits with Sandusky County's Economic Development. the Fremont Mayor's Office, as well as Vanguard Sentinel and Terra State. And we're putting programs into the Fostoria Learning Center so that they have some of our programs that are available to the good people in the Fostoria area, including some of our apprentice programs as well, and short-term certificate programs. So with that being said, I went backwards. I'm now going to turn this over to Heath Martin so he can talk about the housing project.
Colleagues and friends of the college, good afternoon. Thank you for being here. As many of you know, in the fall of 2018, Terra State students will have the opportunity to live in the landings at Terra Village. Terra Village will represent only the second community college in the state of Ohio to provide on-campus student housing. The landings at Terra Village will really have 4 or 5 different room configurations. The first will be a 1-bedroom, 1-bath studio with double or single occupancy, 2-bedroom, 1-bath with single occupancy in each room, 2 bedrooms, 2-bath with 2 students in each bedroom, or a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, with each room having just 1 student. The prices per student range from $3,010 per semester to $4,160. The cost of rent is all-inclusive and includes cable, internet, water, electricity, trash, and access to a healthcare provider 24/7 through ProMedica's on-demand program. Also, you should know, Capstone On-Campus Management is the third party that has been identified to run and operate our residence hall. Jamie Lodemeyer-Fay is serving as the director for this project. Jamie, will you stand to be recognized? And many of you may know Jamie as she has served formerly as a student success mentor for our College Credit Plus program. To learn more about the project, the campus community is invited to attend an open forum on Monday, February 26th at 3:30 p.m. in B101. At this time, I would like to transition to discussion about the college's enrollment. The next few slides are a snapshot in time, and that snapshot in time was on the 15th day of the semester. As you can see, our end of semester enrollment goal was 2,051 students. And on the 15th day, we had 2,047 of those students registered. And remember, that was a snapshot. When the enrollment report came up this morning, it was 2,053, for example. One of the things that we note here is that we had significant increases in the number of College Credit Plus students that enrolled and new first-time students, however, struggled in areas of transfer and continuing students. The next slide represents full-time enrollment for or what we call FTE. FTE is important because this is the way in which the college is funded, both through tuition dollars and through successful FTE through the state of Ohio. I think one of the impressive things here is that we exceeded our goal by nearly 2%. But you also heard me mention that the number of returning students declined. However, the number of credit hours they took increased. This means the critical conversations that our academic and career advisors are having with students and others about the importance of enrolling in more credit hours are paying off in our enrollment data. The next thing that I would like to share with you all in terms of our enrollment is a comparison between our enrollment actually, I got ahead of myself. But this slide is our comparison to where we were last spring. Typically, the percent plus or minus that you experience in the fall term is typically what you see in the spring term. However, this hypothesis is not correct for this spring. As you can see, our head count was negative 3.3%, and our head count in the fall was negative 8. I think there's some other positive signs to look into in this data. The number of new, first-time, readmit, and transient students are up 5.6% over last spring. You also can see a similar trend in our FTE enrollment. Our FTE enrollment for the fall was down 10.4%, and this spring, it was down 5.1%. The other thing I think is exciting and is trending positive in our enrollment is the number of new students that are entering our institution. As you can see, in the 2017-2018 academic year, 1,719 students enrolled at the college. Last year, only 1,662 students enrolled, so the number of new students has increased by 3.4% over last year, another positive sign that our enrollment trends are beginning to change. The other thing that I wanted to share with the campus community, in October, for the very first time, the college community allowed students to register for up to 3 terms at the same time. And as you can see, our goal for this summer is 787 students. At this point in time, we already have 415 students registered, which is 52.7% of our goal, with 12 weeks remaining prior to the start of the summer semester. The other thing that I want to share with you is application data for the fall term, which is very exciting. I think that you will see that there's a strong correlation of what we're experiencing based on several different things. We have expanded our outreach opportunities. We have visited every Ohio college fair in the state of Ohio, for example. We have introduced the Workforce Demand Scholarship, and we're building a residence hall that is attracting more students to our campus. As of last Friday, we had 372 students that applied for admission for the fall, and this time last year, we had 162 students, which is an indication of a 129.6% increase in the total number of applications. This past fall, we've been focusing a lot on direct from high school students. You may ask why. The first reason is that we believe we must get more young or new talent into the workforce development pipeline. Okay? And second of all, no matter where you are in your educational journey, Terra State will always welcome you. But it's important to know the sooner a student enrolls at the institution, the more likely they are to earn a degree. And so these students have been a focus of ours this past semester, and I'd like to thank my admissions team for all of their work. But when we look at our reflective data, our workforce demand data, this year in our workforce demand areas, which are 10 areas, we have 137 applications to the college. Last year, we had 25. This represents a 448% increase in the number of applications. All other majors, 125 compared to 56, which is 123.2%. And total is, you can see, we have a 223.5% increase in direct from high school applications to the college at this point. I also want to just share this data with you. This indicates the programs that are included in the Workforce Demand Scholarship, the number of applications as of February 15, 2017, compared to last Friday of this year. Now, I will tell you, just because a student is an applicant doesn't mean they're going to enroll. So over the next couple months, we'll be asking all of you to help us enroll this crop of students. And I look forward to working with all of you to make sure that we have a very positive and reflective summer and fall enrollment. Thank you. And at this time, I'd like to introduce the Vice President of Financial Affairs, Mr. Randy McCullough.
Please stand, take a break. Take some oxygen in. Come on, please stand. Just one. My wife says talking finances is boring, so I just want to let you know I heard the message and want to make sure you understand, so appreciate it. What I'm going to do is a brief overview of our operating budget that we had, our financial position for the college. We have a review of the past 3 years that have illustrated here. I'm using FY 2018 as our baseline. We had $14.9 million in revenue. Our primary revenue sources are from student tuition fees of $7.8 million and state subsidy at $6.2 million. That's a 95% of our total revenue. Both of these are based upon one population, our students. In 2 short years, our total revenue has dropped to 13.9 on the far right-hand side. This significant change was in student fees with a reduction of $1.5 million. This was a result of a 19.5% drop in revenue, which was a result of our student enrollment decline, as well as a shift in our type and mix of College Credit Plus that was imposed on us very quickly through this time frame. However, you'll note that our state share of funding stayed the same or equal through this same period of time. We had level funding, and this was a result of the Ohio Association of Community Colleges working together to ensure that we would transform our budget strategies and our funding strategies to enhance learning for two-year college education. For Terra State, we were able to maintain our state funds by course success rate that Dr. Webster highlighted earlier, offering higher level courses, the number of degrees and certificates completed, and maintaining our enrollment compared to community colleges. These actions were able to preserve our state funding. So instead of having 19.5% drop across all our funding, we only had it in student fees. I want to take a time to illustrate this in a graph. So I know that not everybody loves graphs or clarification, but this represents all 23 institutions of community colleges. Each orange circle represents a community college. Again, I'm using FY 2018 as the baseline, but I'm comparing the enrollment changes from 16 and 17. So on the far left side, you can see we have a high rate of growth of 5%, all the way down to a negative 25% over those two periods of time. Currently, the state funding is one pool for community college. Thus, if you maintain the average on all Department of Higher Education measurements, the pool of funds gets evenly distributed. So the key is always stay above average. Thus, the green light represents flat enrollment. So the green light is indicating that the institutions that have above that line would have higher enrollment. And all the institutions in orange represents the ones at 10%. The overall average enrollment decline for the state, the overall average for those 2 years was 10%. As you can tell, we only had one institution that had growth during these 2 years. This was Edison State that had a 4.4% increase. The next institution that had flat or zero growth was Eastern Gateway. But if you look at the other side of it, well, both of those institutions, a key component of those were they're expanding in their regions and started new sites. So both of those institutions were able to increase or maintain their level because they expanded their region. The timing of them was related to other peers who may not have done that same enrollment growth in that period of time. Now, if we look at the lower level, two institutions drop at the lowest. We have Cincinnati State and Owen State. Both of those had 23% decline. The big players in this pool funds is our community colleges. We have Columbus State, who currently had a 4.6% decline. Sinclair had a 6% decline. And Tri-C had a 12.4% decline. You can see that those three institutions dropped over that 10%. One of them dropped below that 10%, the other two were close to that 10% pool. So the key for us is that since this is all pooled dollars, is we maintain average. So Terra State's average was right above the 9.8%. So you can see that even though we had a significant drop of 9.8%, seems like a lot to Terra State, it did not exceed the maximum for community college across Ohio. So we're very proud of the accomplishments we did, that we were able to continue our state funding, and that really preserved our cuts that we did not need to make over the years. Now, if I look at the expenses for the past 3 years, our baseline for 2015, we had $11.2 million in personnel and benefits. Personnel makes up 71% of our budget, which is standard in higher education and service industry. Our expenses for FY 2017 had dropped just under $14 million. Our personnel budget had to be trimmed to $10 million to eliminate our operating deficit. This was a major undertaking. We were able to bring our deficit to $98,000 compared to $750,000 for the 2 previous years. That's a significant accomplishment that we did in a short amount of time, but it's related to the funding changes, transformation that has taken across the state. We understand that this strain took on all of us. However, the college needs to maintain a balanced budget. Currently, we are showing 13.6 revenue and expenses of 13.8. Our net deficit or loss is 261,000. Our board had previously, as of June 30th board meeting, approved $388,000 deficit. So currently, we are running below that $380,000 deficit. As Heath talked about workforce demand, as well as we talked about our success under state share funding and our priorities, we are very optimistic about next year's with a tuition increase and the funding that we'll get through workforce demand scholarships. Campus lighting. Dr. Webster needed this illustration to try to explain how our lighting will come in place. The key thing on here is we do not currently have the landscape in place there, but we understand that will be the expectation. But we are going to have a lighting in the center of the aisle, and we'll be removing the signs on the edge of the road, which will make it much safer for our students traveling in and out of the campus. We're anticipating this contract to be completed by April 2008. It had to get extended because of technical issues, but currently we're replacing light fixtures in the parking lots. This will start in Lot A, which happened today, and be moving to B, C, D, and E. We will have sections closed off as they proceed. We will currently not have lights in parking lot A and the first part of section B until Monday. So currently they are working on A and B sections, and we will not have lights until Monday until they get the circuits. We're changing the electrical current from 480 to 277, so they have to wait until they get both section sides. The ones that have been here for a while, when A was built, we had both of those connected parking lots connected together when they came onto the campus. So the big issue is you may not be able to park in your normal spot. I'm pretty sure the president will park where he wants to park, but the rest of us will make sure we park in safe locations. Next couple of weeks, the big issue we'll be dealing with is the Napoleon Road entrance line coming in, that we will really have to restrict traffic coming and leaving the campus. So as they remove the poles of the old existing ones and installing new ones, we will not want to have traffic flowing in there to make sure we have a safe environment as we go through. So we will be doing closures in about 2 weeks related to that, and to make sure that you just need to be aware and look for the cones and make sure you follow the cones through the campus standpoint. And then about 5 or 6 weeks, then we will be starting to replace lights in the quad and finish up the lighting. It'll be nice to save energy to finally get LEDs set up and save energy, as well as motion controlled system, as our parking lots will always have lights on them, but as you drive into them, they'll automatically come on and shine when you need them in their certain areas. So I will now turn it over to Dr. Webster, President of Terra State Community College.
Thank you, Randy, and thank you to all of my colleagues for the work on this presentation. I wanted to take a minute to share some thoughts on the evolving culture of the campus and to address how employees may be feeling or perceiving the changing environment of the campus. I recently participated in a Rotary Student of the Month luncheon where I, along with my fellow Rotarians, witnessed the high school students from the local area high schools introduce themselves and share with us their accomplishments. Terra State students also participated, and one of them, Jessica Duncan, shared some comments directed to the high school students about how much her life had changed since she graduated from high school, and encouraged them to expect a lot of growth. All of the students were very impressive and demonstrated for me, and I think all of us Rotarians, the sense of pride and achievement along with the bright futures these students had ahead of them. But I keep reflecting on Jessica's comments and about the changes she has experienced. And I think, like the growth pains we all experienced from adolescence to adulthood, some of these growth spurts are affecting how we are experiencing the changing environment of the campus. We've had to deal with contracting budgets amidst enormous changes in the higher education profession due to technological advances and the expectations in the new normal. I don't know of many in the business sector who have had to experience a 25% reduction in their budgets over a 5-year period and an enormous shift in their approach to serving the client in their profession amidst radical contraction and service extension due to these technological advances. Probably those in the journalism profession and those in healthcare come the closest to those types of changes that we've experienced. Like the evolution from adolescence, we have a feeling of awkwardness, yet maybe some excitement about what is to be. We may feel the culture is fragmented, anxious, distrustful, transforming, but yet amidst the idiosyncrasies of family, the good and the bad. We may be feeling like we have come to the edge, like this.
I need you guys to help me in the kitchen to fill these.
We can do it. I don't like this crap.
Definitely no cheese in the can. Very happy to be throwing this away.
It's bacon.
No, I want my bacon. I gotta tell you something. Bacon is good for me. This is very
You're gonna be going to the grocery store.
She thinks, out of the blue, she's a smart little girl, that she can do whatever she wants. No. That's not how she can do it in our family. She's acting like she's the queen and we're the sorry people. Joy, I have been nice to you, but now I'm coming to the edge.
I promise you one thing, okay? If you do not have at least one food that you like, I will buy you a piece of junk. Is that a deal?
No, I keep losing at deals, and I don't want to make a deal anymore. I am leaving. And you can't stop me. I'm packing my bags. And a very, very calm day until this. A bump in the road comes, and she be sarcastic.
Curtis.
I won't be coming back until Saturday when you leave. She's going to try to stop me, but she can't run in those little high heels. Never see this face again.
So, canned cheese and bacon. Sounds good to me. I want it. Just like when we are moving from adolescence to adulthood, people are talking about us, and we know it. We'd overhear our parents commenting to their friends about us, our accomplishments, and our setbacks. We have had to let go of friends from the past to mature for friends of the future. It hurts to lose friends, sometimes with no clear reason, other than we have to be different now because we're transforming. But there is a bright future ahead. We see it and we know it. We're excited about it just like we were when we thought of all of the adult-like things we would experience when we were in that awkward phase from adolescence to adulthood. And we will get there. And we will make this community better, more proud of us, and of who we are. At the Rotary Student of the Month luncheon, each student began their introduction with their name and told us the names of their parents. I think we would say, we are Terra State Community College from Fremont, Ohio, whose parents are the Sandusky Seneca Technical Institute and the Vanguard Technical Institute. We are going to be 50, and we are excited about it. At this time, I don't know if I'm going to get this to do this. There we go. Got it. This time, I would like to present to you our 2017 annual report. These are being passed out now. Featured on the cover is Delia Samadova, who graduated last year and was named an All-Ohio Academic First Team Scholarship recipient, among many other awards. We are proud of her and of all of our students. We will continue to produce an annual report to the community in future years. I would like to thank our marketing department for their great work on this report. And now I am pleased to introduce Amanda Pachaco, Manager of Marketing, who will share with us information on our new mascot.
So as you know, we were trying to decide who are we as a community college, and we wanted to get everybody's opinions and get something that we could all get behind and feel like we're really part of our family and community here. So I wanted to tell you a little bit quickly about the making of our mascot. There's a history. We were the Thunder, and then we sort of turned into the Thunder Cats, and then someone told me we were a wolf, and I'm not sure exactly what we were. So this past year, we decided to actually talk with some of our students, and we held a focus group, and we asked them, what do you think about mascots? What would you like to be? And we received very interesting responses. We narrowed those down to 2, and that was between the Terra State Titans and the Terra State Tigers. We went through and did a list of pros and cons for both, and just so that you know that I was completely impartial. I was going to get behind 100% whichever one won. What we did is we actually took the voting to our internal audience. So faculty, staff, and current students all had the ability to vote. You could vote by email. You could vote by text. So for those, slick ones in the room, you could vote twice. And the first day that I opened the voting, I was a little shocked. My inbox blew up. My phone blew up, and I said, okay, people they have strong opinions about this. So hopefully everyone is happy. It was not a blowout, but sort of 70 to 30%. So this is our new mascot. I hope.
Delivered to Terra State Community College by a bolt of lightning from the sky, the Terra State Titan rose up through the dust with a mighty clap of thunder to roam northwest Ohio. Resonating with powerful leadership, the Titan provides direction to all who have chosen to journey through Terra State. The Titan is a symbol that joins all students and alumni in standing for the greatness they achieve at Terra State Community
College. So congratulations to all of you that voted for the Titans. Just to give you a preview of what's to come, we're going to work with our graphic designers, Mike and Lexi, come up with some more sketches, and bring 2 of those to the community and, of course, our internal community to vote again. Hopefully, we will be able to get this done by the beginning of March, and then we can release those designs in the beginning of March. We will then go and try to figure out how to launch these mascots, and we'll make sure that we have costumes and all those sorts of things that go along with it to hopefully incorporate with the beginning of the 2018 school year. So congratulations. Thank you all for participating and voting. I was really shocked with the amount of votes. So congratulations, Titans.
Well, thank you so much for your attendance today. We do have refreshments available to enjoy in the room next to us, so please stick around and chat with your colleagues, and thank you so much. Have a great afternoon.